The fourth pattern is what's called a simple listing pattern. And this particular pattern is often shown in science textbooks. It's used whenever the order of information really isn't relevant to the meaning. Sometimes it's used to just identify characteristics or situations or errors. So here are 5 mistakes you don't want to make in a job interview. Here are 4 good reasons to televise the U.S. Paralympics. One of these particular items is not more important than the other. No one of these items has to come before another item in the list. So unlike the previous 2 patterns of organization that we looked at that had to follow a prescribed order, simple listing is random in nature. Topic sentences are going to tell you, for instance, the 5 things that you should never do on a first date. So once again, you'll often find that the topic sentence is going to be at the very beginning of a paragraph. The supporting details are going to offer specific pieces of information about the topic. The facts, the figures, the characteristics that are described in these details are all connected by the topic sentence, but they're not necessarily related to each other. And again, the order of information is totally unimportant. You could switch these details around without, changing the meaning or the point of the passage in any way. Let's take a look at a sample paragraph. You're going to be looking for the topic sentence number, and I want you to be able to tell me what role sentence 2 plays, and also sentences 3 and 4. So let's begin. Because employers are making more and more use of social networking sites to screen their employees, job hunters need to keep several pointers in mind. First off, censor your online photographs. Prospective employers are not inclined to hire people who have posted online pictures of themselves chugging beer. And the same goes for sexually revealing pictures. And whatever you do, don't use the web to complain about your current job, since potential employers will assume you'll complain about them too if you're not pleased with their methods or procedures. Also make sure that your resume and your social network page match. If your resume says that you went to Harvard, but your Facebook page says that you attended the University of Phoenix, your name is likely to be eliminated from an employer's interview list. Finally, understand and use security settings to maintain your privacy on social networking sites. If you use social networking to keep close friends apprised of your most private thoughts, make sure those thoughts are really limited to your inner circle of friends. So, identify where you think the topic sentence is. What is sentence 2? How about sentences 3 and 4? Well, sentence 1 is the topic sentence. In that sentence, we get a big clue that we need to find several pointers. Now, this particular topic sentence doesn't tell us that there's going to be 3 pointers or 4. We just know that there's going to be several mentioned in this paragraph. When you look at sentence 2, that is the first major detail. And then sentences 3 and 4 go on to talk about the types of pictures that you should be concerned about on your personal space. When you're taking notes in a simple listing format, you have to remember the material because the details really have no particular order, and so you can't kind of rely on one detail to trigger information on the next. So making a concept map like on 201 is one way that your brain could process the information in a different way. We've already used the concept map in an earlier example for definition, but it would also work for simple listing as well, with the central topic in the middle and each of the items that would appear on the list in one of the spokes. The important thing for comprehension is that you paraphrase the supporting details, because that way they're going to make it to your long-term memory rather than just simply sitting in working memory. And then since the order isn't really important in simple listing, you can reverse the original order in your notes. If you rethink the order, it'll give you another chance to process the information at a deeper level. And so take advantage of the fact that the list does not always have to appear in the same order. In your note-taking handout, there's a topic that I'd like you to pick from one of the paragraphs that are available to you. Those topics are King Louis XIV and reading newspapers. So take a look at those two simple listing patterns, those paragraphs, and create a list that would capture all the important major details from the paragraph that you select. I'd also like to draw your attention to page 200 because on page 200 what you'll find will be another great set of transition words that you could anticipate finding in a simple listing paragraph. So take note of those as well. After you finish your note-taking activity, then be sure to go on to the fourth exercise.